This is quite shocking to me. In Shanghai, there are a lot of foreign companies and foreign capital, and they are all ready to withdraw one after another. Those foreign companies that we thought would never leave are running away faster than anyone else. The nearby factories are all going bankrupt or shutting down. Guangzhou can't stand it now. Shenzhen is so deserted now. In the past few years, we could make 2,000 to 3,000 yuan a day, but now we can only make a few hundred yuan a day. Where have all the people gone? With the withdrawal of foreign capital and the closure of a large number of domestic companies, more and more people are facing layoffs and salary cuts. Many people lament that 2024 is the most difficult year they have ever experienced. Some people say that China has entered an era of extremely low consumption. In this situation, there is depression all over the country. Hello everyone. Foreign capital withdraws, and a large number of domestic companies close down. More and more people are experiencing layoffs and salary cuts. Many people lamented, 2024 is the most difficult year they have ever experienced. Some people call, China has entered an era of extremely low consumption. In this case, depression is all over the country. He said a friend of his works as a program developer at Microsoft's Shanghai headquarters. Notification has been received. Several departments will be eliminated by the end of this year. Then next year, they will all be withdrawn. This blogger also listed many foreign companies the Chinese people are familiar with. They have all left in recent years, including the American technology giant Apple, which moved to India and Vietnam. Microsoft's AI team has moved back home collectively. Intel and Nvidia turned around and said goodbye. Japan's major manufacturing companies are also leaving. Even IBM, which was the first to enter China, has closed its R&D center and moved to India. Thousands of jobs were cut in just 3 minutes. In the past, Suzhou relied on a large number of foreign-funded enterprises and was known as the most powerful prefecture-level city in the universe. According to statistics, Suzhou has closed more than 20,000 companies this year. The withdrawal of each foreign investment means hundreds or even thousands of people will be laid off. Today's Suzhou is very sad. She said, I used to want to open a store in a shopping mall and do business. That all costs money to find connections. Nowadays, many shopping malls have closed down their facades. I can't rent out office buildings either. Those who can barely hold on are struggling. Since there is no work to do, various places have ushered in a wave of returning home. It's only November. Goodbye Jiangsu, goodbye Shanghai, goodbye Guangdong. These words have become hot topics. While foreign capital is withdrawing, domestic companies are also shutting down in large numbers. This netizen, who runs an e-commerce business in Guangzhou, said, his company is located in an e-commerce park. 90% of the businesses are live broadcasts. In the past, at night, all would start live streaming. But now the building is empty. Only his company still has the lights on. He advises everyone. Want to start a business? Want to open a physical store or factory? Want to invest? Don't do anything. This year itself is not suitable for doing business. A man in the rice business told him, overall rice sales fell 37% in the second half of this year. He is doing business consulting, providing solutions for enterprise development. He said, this year's situation reminds me of what Jack Ma once said. 2018 was the worst year ever. But what? It's the best year of the next 10 years. Business operation is difficult. Layoffs and salary cuts have become natural. She said, many ordinary office workers have to rely on credit cards to live their lives. You can't make much money after working hard for a month but still have to pay off the credit card. Those who have bought a house will feel even more uncomfortable, working hard to make money just to pay off the mortgage. He said, in fact, the people around are still here. It's just that no one comes out. Because many companies are laying off employees, everyone has no money to spend. She said, I only received 300 yuan for lunch that day. I thought dinner would be better. In the end, it cost more than 300 yuan. This year's business is worse than the 3 years of the epidemic. I really don't know what to do. He gave an example. The emergence of central business districts in first-tier cities, 1 meat and 2 vegetarian fast food buffet for 12 yuan. Shuyashao Xiankao launches lemonade for 4.9 yuan. Heitei has 4 yuan pure tea. Let's have a 2.9 yuan yogurt and purple rice dew from Chibaido. Mixway Bingcheng even launched a 1 yuan ice cup. Even so, the milk tea industry has experienced collective losses and store closures. High-end barbershops see a sharp decline in customers, while 10 yuan quick cuts are very popular in various places. Movie box office dropped more than 40% this year. Netizens shouted, "Don't go to the cinema unless the ticket price returns to the 10 yuan era." First-class seats on high-speed rail are often few and far between. On the contrary, cheap green trains are more popular. In the first half of this year, Pinduoduo's net profit far exceeded that of Alibaba and JD.com. What's sad is, there may be some people who cannot afford even extremely low consumption. Chinese migrant workers stay at Beijing Daxing Airport to save on room charges. Beijing Daxing International Airport, located 40 to 50 kilometers from the city, has complete facilities for overnight stays. As a result, many migrant workers from other areas treat it as a 0 yuan bathing center, camping there to save on accommodation costs. Due to Beijing's high living expenses, many migrant workers seek more economical temporary housing options. Previously, 24-hour restaurants like Jindingshuan and McDonald's, along with bathing centers offering food and lodging, served as temporary shelters for many migrant workers. The overnight costs at these places, often under 200 yuan, were considered affordable. In recent years, Daxing Airport has emerged as the latest haven for migrant workers in Beijing. With its comprehensive facilities for overnight stays, it has earned the nickname 0 Yuan Bathing Center. According to the Sanlian Life Laboratory, Daxing Airport's rest areas are equipped with reclining chairs, massage chairs, and movable sofas that can be assembled into single beds. There's free hot water for drinking, and bathrooms near the international arrivals area offer complimentary showers and hair-drying facilities. At the airport, it's common to see workers editing PPTs on recliners at 3 a.m., middle-aged parents resting after outings with their children, and newcomers with large bags who seem uncertain about their next steps. An unspoken rule for overnight stays is to maintain a distance, leaving at least 2 seats between oneself and strangers. The atmosphere is less casual and more tense, with everyone sensing each other's fatigue, leading to a mutual understanding to keep some space. The airport offers ample seating, free air conditioning, and numerous charging ports, making it an ideal base for overnight stays. Some outdoor enthusiasts even bring camping gear, such as moisture-proof mats, tents, and sleeping bags, to set up camp inside. Daxing Airport's rest area, covered with artificial grass and maze-like walls, provides semi-private spaces. Many people treat this as an indoor camping site, enjoying coffee, reading, or chatting. The first overnight visitors at Daxing Airport were mostly frequent business travelers. To save on airfares, their employers often booked early flights departing around 6 a.m., requiring them to arrive by 3 a.m. to avoid missing flights. These workers came well prepared, with items like eye masks, earplugs, portable massage belts, and disposable slippers, turning their overnight stay into a well-equipped experience. In recent years, individuals traveling to Beijing for civil service exams or postgraduate entrance exams have also utilized the airport for accommodations, staying there 1 or 2 days before their exams to save on lodging expenses. Xiao Ning, a 23-year-old who took the National Civil Service examination last year, studied in the airport's free library. She shared, "When you stay in a hotel, time is wasted on check-ins and transportation. It's far better to stay at the airport and study uninterrupted. Watching people come and go, I told myself, if you want to stay here, you have to fight to succeed." In addition to overnight facilities, Daxing Airport features restaurants representing nearly 50% of Beijing's popular dining spots. Some visitors even make the airport their first stop when traveling to Beijing to enjoy local specialties. Beijing has never been worse. Street shops are closed, and shopping malls are deserted. Beijing has never been in such a dire state. The once bustling streets of Sanlitun and Wangfujing are now unrecognizable. Many businesses have closed, and the shopping malls are deserted. Shimao Tianjie and Galaxy Soho are extremely gloomy. Many people cannot find work, spending their days waiting for a manual labor job to make ends meet. It's heartbreaking to witness the current living conditions along Beijing's Second Ring Road. Beijing netizens have posted that the city has never been as depressed as it is now. The entire city is highly closed off and severely lacking in vitality. Look, today is the weekend. These restaurants used to have long lines of people waiting to have lunch here. But now, the place is empty. The atmosphere so gloomy and deserted. There's truly no one in the shopping mall. On the 25th, some Weibo netizens posted, "I didn't expect Zhongguancun, Beijing, to be so depressed 10 years later." I went to Haidian for an interview today and was struck by how the once bustling area has vanished. After leaving the subway station, I didn't see many people shopping. Many shops were closed. Carrefour and Shibao Street were gone. I only saw a few snack bars and convenience stores. Netizens responded one after another. Since the Didwan, low-end population was cleaned up a year ago, the city has gradually become deserted. Beijing is in a depression overall, not just limited to Zhongguancun. I don't know why things are like this now. My impression of Beijing from 10 years ago is nothing like what it is today. On September 25th last year, Li Hua, pseudonym, an insider who often travels between Beijing and other cities in Hebei province, told a reporter that Beijing's economy is indeed depressed at present. For example, Beijing's Wukesong, which is close to West Chang'an Street, used to be quite busy, but since July this year, the number of shops in this area has dropped sharply. According to Li Hua's observation, there are now fewer than 10 foreign-owned supermarkets in Beijing, and most of them have closed. Carrefour's last store in Beijing has been acquired. There are no more Carrefours in Beijing, and now Walmart is barely holding on. A Beijing resident named Wang Li told reporters that the national economy is currently in a severe recession. Even the capital, Beijing, has become deserted, empty, and lifeless. Unlike in previous years, things are no longer good. Except for civil servants who have some money, people basically have no money. The WeChat public account Pinkadashi published an article titled, "Beijing has never been as depressed as it is now," describing the current depression in Beijing based on years of working and living in the city. The article mentioned that there used to be no guardrails in Tiananmen Square, and the buildings could be photographed at close range, but now they are all blocked off. Many places in Beijing have been artificially divided, such as schools, which used to symbolize openness. Now, Tsinghua University, Peking University, other universities, middle schools, and elementary schools are all inaccessible. The article also cites Sanlitun, a once famous landmark in Beijing, as an example. In the past, Sanlitun was the fashion center of Beijing and even China, with a variety of restaurants, dinner parties, celebrities, film crews, and beautiful people. But now, it no longer resembles its former self. There is no superficial prosperity. There are more farmers' markets in fifth-tier counties than in Sanlitun. The article also noted that there are obviously fewer foreigners in Beijing now, including fewer white people, black people, and mixed-race West Asians. In the past, Liangma Kiao was practically a concession. Every day a bunch of white people would run around the Liangma River. It was almost like the Seine. Moreover, the streets in Beijing are not very lively right now, especially at night when there are no people around. There are no stalls, sellers, photographers, or street performers. The streets are completely empty. The article pointed out that Beijing's economy was once very strong. The technology sector, which used to symbolize the internet, is no longer viable in Haidian. Finance, located in Xicheng, is now under strict regulation and has lost its vitality. Education, also in Haidian, is said to be the worst-hit industry. Culture, centered in Chaoyang, includes film, television, music, art, and media industries. But Beijing's cultural industry is now moribund. Another area is foreign investment, also in Chaoyang. Foreign investment in Beijing used to be very strong, but everyone knows that the situation has been very bad in recent years, especially investment in Beijing. The article concludes by saying that the job opportunities in technology, education, finance, culture, foreign investment, and tourism, which used to support a large number of ordinary Beijing citizens, are no longer available. With the Chinese economy rapidly declining and in recession, Beijing is gradually falling into a difficult and gloomy period. A layer of smog covers the city, and everywhere, the vitality of dawn is no longer present.